UFC 308, Topuria versus Holloway just finished up. I'm here to go over and recap every fight on the card. Let's get started right away with the very first fight on the prelims. Rinat, Fakhretdinov, and Carlos Leal. Three slow decisions start off the card here, and this one was kind of bad. Round one, Rinat shot in early, didn't get much control. Leal was getting the better of him on the feet for sure. Hurt Rinat, who shot in again. Leal got down temporarily. Leal definitely got the better on the feet round one. It was looking really good, looking sharp, looking juiced out of his mind too. Back was like a pepperoni fucking pizza. I don't know how these guys on 5 days notice. It's the same thing with Basel Hafez against JDM, and they come in and look so good, and then they get a couple of fights and they get the juice out of their system and they look like crap. So anyway, round one was Leal's. Round two, another really good and close round on the feet. Nice exchanges, both thrown in the pocket. Leal's leg kicks were still getting the better of Rinat in round two. Was really starting to cut up his lead leg, the left leg. He had him switch to southpaw. Ended up getting a takedown and finishing the round on top while cutting Leal at the same time. So I don't know what they scored that there. I would have said round two could go to Rinat just because of the top control and he got a cut open. I said 1-1 at this point. Round three, another crazy back and forth round. Leal got a takedown himself briefly. Both landed good shots again. I feel like Leal won the fight overall, but if he wasn't juiced to the gills and just covered in acne head to toe, I think Rinat probably would have kicked his ass and would have been a lot more successful because his gas tank was just crazy. He was throwing power shots all the way through. Great fight from both. Rinat did not look shit or anything like that. Leal just had like unlimited gas tank and ate just massive shots from Rinat that probably would have dropped a lot of other UFC fighters in the welterweight division. Leal won the fight, I think, but once the juice could have a system, like I said, he's probably gonna be fucked. I don't know how. I mean, obviously they're in Abu Dhabi, but they ended up giving Rinat a unanimous decision, two cards with a 2-1, and one card from some Muhammad Allah, whatever the hell his name was. That it was a 30-27 somehow. I don't know how anybody watching that fight could think that Rinat won all three rounds, but that obviously was what we could expect for the rest of the card after that one. Really good fight, I guess, but kind of a slow decision, but a good fight overall. And Rinat definitely did not win that, so that was bullshit. Well, I guess we know what to expect for the rest of the card, though. Moving up, Ismail Naurdiev and Bruno Silva. This one was much more clear. Straight 30-27s for Naurdiev, whatever the hell his name is. Um, the commentary at the beginning was talking about how Ismail's dad like abused him. It was really hard on him, and that's why Ismail's a fighter. And then they have a good relationship now because his dad's like softer and doesn't want him to fight. It was such a weird thing. Like these two fighters are having custody battles tonight. So unnecessary. Don't know what we're doing with that, but anyway, round one, Ismail just beat up Silva. Came out very kick heavy, worked in some punches, and finished the round with a takedown. Easy 1-0. Round two, Naurdiev got better. Got the better of Silva again. Round two, landed a nice power takedown as Silva was like throwing a jab. Silva was just so slow and like lackadaisical this fight. Didn't look like he had any intention in anything he threw. Just looked like he was sparring, maybe just absolutely no urgency. I had 2-0 here, Naurdiev. Round three, same shit. Silva did not want to be in there. He looked like a fucking heavy bag. Time for him to get the fuck out and retire. Um, yeah, just a terrible look from Silva. I doubt he'll ever win another fight looking like that. Straight 3-0 for Ismail, and that was obviously probably the only scorecard you could have for that. So very boring decision there because Silva just wasn't even trying to fight. Moving up the card, Farid Basharat and Victor Hugo. This one took place at featherweight, even though it was supposed to be at bantamweight because Hugo came in 10 pounds overweight. Um, I don't know how you do that. I mean, that's like worse than fucking Chimaev. But anyway, that's a bitch move to start. Weird round one. Hugo attempted a few leg locks in the round. Kind of was close on them, but I don't think anything where it would score points. Basharat had ground control, landed some good shots. I would assume going into round two it was 1-0 Basharat here. Round two, Farid had a good start. They went back and forth all round again. Hugo was just trying to spin too much, and Farid was timing some good counter shots. I would say 2-0 at this point. Round three, Hugo dropped Farid early with a body shot, took the lead early, and Farid came back, got a takedown a little over a minute in. Hugo tried to lash up another submission. Farid worked out on the ground, tried to get a submission of his own. They got back up. Hugo way overshot again on the feet. Basharat took him down. Easy win, I feel like, 3-0. They ended up going 2-1 on two scorecards. Not really sure what round. I guess round three they probably gave him. I can't imagine it was one or two. But pretty dominant from Basharat. Hugo didn't look great. Tried to do a lot of weird shit on the ground, a lot of weird submissions and stuff like that, but just couldn't really do anything. So weird fight from Hugo. Came in 10 pounds over. Honestly, just cut him. Like, get the fuck out if you're gonna come in 10 pounds over. Good fight for Farid, taking the fight and coming in against some guy that just didn't even try to cut weight. So good fight for him. Moving up the card to Chris Barnett. Lost via Sugarfoot KO. Um, this was such a stupid fight. Dude, I don't know why Chris Barnett still gets fights. And also, I don't know why he's repping Spain. I didn't know he was Spanish. I'm pretty sure he reps US. I don't know why he's Anyway. Um, yeah, just a stupid fight, dude. And Nzechukwu was like a foot taller and somehow 20 pounds lighter than that fat fucking blob of a thing, fucking Barnett. Barnett couldn't do shit, was way too slow, had no reach, could not close the distance, and it looked like he must have fucked his leg up. Either he did like a Ortega jump in while Buffer was announcing him, so it was either the pre-fight little jump he did, or it was on one of his spinning back kicks. It was hard to tell. But it looked like he kind of stumbled like Ortega did, kind of when he did a little jump in the intros. Not sure if it was that, but yeah, he hurt his knee, obviously, and then Kennedy just finally built up enough pressure on him to get the TKO. Get this fat fuck out of here. Just such a waste of time, bro. Unless somebody else that he fights is like 5'5", 600 pounds like him, he's gonna have no chance. So I don't know. That was kind of stupid, but it was funny as fuck to watch. Dude. It's always funny to watch Chris Barnett fucking flail around like a. Yeah, we'll just leave it alone. Anyway, moving up to a much better fight. Abus Magomedov and Bruno Ferreira. So round one, much slower start than I expected from both. Abbas had way more volume to start off, landed the better shots. Bruno didn't do much all of the first round, maybe just trying to tire him out. I don't know if anyone else noticed in like the background, but there was like a spotlight going around the whole time. It was kind of just like what it looked like somewhat in the middle of the round. I saw it light up somewhere, and then it was going around the spotlight the whole fucking time. I was like, what are they doing? It was in the ring, outside the ring. I was like, that's distracting as hell. Anyway, didn't happen after that, so it must have been some kind of issue. Round two, much better start from Bruno. Started to put the pressure on and caught Abus with a punch, then a kick as he kind of bent over to recover, and then jumped on a gilly, lost it like an absolute idiot. This was one of many mistakes he made to lose this fight. Got his back taken by Abus. Bruno was battering him until he made another mistake, gave up his back standing, and got taken down again by Abus. Ended up on top with a minute left. I would say 1-1 going into round three, but again, Bruno was just making stupid mistakes where he could have just ended this fight much easier. He was dominating round two and just threw it away. But anyway, round three, first ever round three for Bruno in his career. He had a good start until he spun around again, got taken down by Abus. Bruno did a really good job getting back up. They kind of went back and forth. 2 minutes left, he got back up. Abus shot in again, got another takedown, got him out, worked towards an arm triangle pretty quick, and finished him very quickly, latched it up, looked like a very tight choke. So, yeah, just really stupid mistakes by Bruno. He was trying to spin too much, trying to do too much crazy shit when he could have just kept it simple and kept throwing his punches the way that he was, and he was landing really good on Abus and would have finished him, but Abus, I don't really care. I like saying Abus anyway. Anyway, good win by him. Looked like his gas tank was much better. I think he's at American Top Team now or something like that, they said. So maybe that's why. Better training, better cardio. He looked better, went to the third round, got the sub late in the third round. So good fight from him. Bruno should have won, but he threw it away. He lost the fight more than Abbas won the fight, but it is what it is. It was a good fight regardless. And yeah, good win. A good win. And at least it was a sub towards the end, too. At least we didn't fucking crotch sniff our way to a decision. So I like that, too. Anyway, moving up to what might honestly go down as the fight of the year, and the round three, probably the round of the year, if not the entire fight. Mateusz, Rebecki, and Myktybek Orolbai. Amazing fight, man. Round one, it was very clear round one was going to be an even matchup. Great first round. Rebecki definitely had more success and landed a lot more power shots. Orolbai didn't get much of a reaction other than his eye fucking swelling up entirely after round one. They went into round two, and I think it was his left eye, right? No, it was his right eye. His right eye was completely closed going into round two. They do this thing, and you can clearly see that he can see out of the corner of his eye. They do two fingers, and he gets it. They fucking send him back out there. Thank God they did. Thank God there wasn't some pussy commission that would say stop the fight, because it ended up being one of the greatest fights of the year. Round two, another really close round. Just a fucking banger of a round. Orolbai did a better job in this round, I think. He shot in late in the round, and they clashed heads, cut open Rebecki really bad, right across his eye, and it was just gushing all over the fucking place. Made Rebecki leak really bad. Not sure if they factored that into the judging, but I imagine it wasn't a good look. So going into round three, I had it 1-1. Round three, holy shit, man. What a round. Easily one of the best rounds of the year. They went back and forth on the feet, and then once it got to the ground, they just kept going back and forth, swishing back positions. Rebecki was trying to work towards the crucifix and would land some shots, and Orolbai would reverse and get out of there and get his own shots off. Wow, easily could be fight of the year. Like I said, if you didn't watch it, make sure you go back and rewatch it because that was 15 minutes of war. They both gave it 100%. I thought it was 2-1 Rebecki coming out of the third round. I had him winning 1-3, and they ended up giving him the split decision. I guess I could see it possibly going to Orolbai, but if they scored the fight as a whole, Rebecki wins clear. Round by round, it's tough because of that third round, but Rebecki, I think, did more. He got the better on the scrambles as well, and it seemed like he had more of a gas tank going into the end of the fight. So, wow. Again, dude, if you didn't watch that one, that was easily one of the fights of the year. Third round was one of the best rounds I've ever seen. What a fight. Rebecki coming off his only loss in like fucking forever, got this win. Thank God, because I thought they were gonna rob him, dude. I really did. But amazing fight. Rebecki deserved that win. Came in as a plus 225 underdog and came out with the win. He deserved it. And yeah, amazing fight. Was it catchweight, which is kind of weird, but who gives a fuck, man? If we see fights like that, have more catchweight fights if they're gonna be like that. Moving up to kind of a weird fight here. Geoff Neal and Rafael dos Anjos. The old man just fell apart. You know what I mean? Left hand of Geoff Neal dropped him early. Kind of a weird drop. Like watching it live, it kind of looked like he almost just like took the hit and then kind of just fell back into guard, like something was wrong. Got back up. Neal let him back up. Neal followed up with a kind of a takedown in the clinch. Let him back up again. Drops RDA again. Looks like he drops him, but then RDA goes down holding his knee. Must have destroyed his knee. And yeah, the second drop, I don't even know if it was from a punch. I think he just maybe felt it, and then that was it. It was a TKO for Geoff Neal. I mean, ideal scenario for him. He gets another check, walks out of here with literally no shots landed. They said 4 total strikes. I didn't see 4. I mean, maybe a couple, but yeah, I mean, pretty much nothing happened. Ideal situation for him. Good for him. Didn't really prove much, but he looked pretty good early. I mean, he was going to beat Dos Anjos either way, in my opinion. But yeah, the old man fell apart. Time for him to hang it up. He's just done, man. If you're just going to fall apart like 2 punches in, I mean, we're done. You and Chris Barnett can go fuck off somewhere, okay? Yeah, good fight from Geoff Neal, I guess, but nothing happened. Moving up the card to the prelim headliner, Ibo Aslan and Rafael Cerqueira. I don't know how you say his name, but doesn't really matter because he got absolutely railed by Ibo Aslan, dude. Cerqueira tried to throw a low kick, got caught by a massive fucking looping left hook by Aslan, and Ibo just laid it on until the ref had to step in. It only lasted 51 seconds, as you can see here. Just had him against the cage and was just digging to the body, going down, up to the head of the body, and finished him within a minute. So amazing performance from Ibo Aslan. Absolutely the best performance you could ask for. Did he even get hit by a shot? Yeah, total strikes 1, which was, I believe, a low kick. Yeah, he threw 1 low kick and then ate 28 shots after that to get finished. So great performance from Aslan. Kind of just like Geoff Neal. I mean, 2 in a row where these are just kind of ideal situations for these guys, just rolling through their opponents and getting to move on and move up the ranks. 14-1 now gave Rafael his first loss, and amazing performance. I don't know what the fuck this guy was doing, but yeah, I mean, I guess it could have gone either way. I picked Aslan to win by knockout in I think I picked him by knockout in the first. Actually, now I'm thinking about it. Let me see real quick. Aslan, I picked by first round KO. Yeah, so that's what I had. I don't know. I guess it was a pretty easy pick, but good fight from Ibo Aslan. Not much else to say about that one. Just came out and beat the shit out of the dude for a minute, and that was it. So good fight. Moving up the card to the main card, the first fight to start off the main card here, Shara Magomedov and Armen Petrosyan. Very good fight. Round one, Armen came out, landed some nice punches to the head early, got Shara's attention, hurt him a little bit to the head, stayed on the feet the whole round, both of them, and they both had some pretty good moments, but Armen had the volume and damage in round one. Thought it was pretty clear he won the first round. Round two, back and forth to start the round. Armen landed a couple of nut shots, so we had a little bit of a stoppage there. Shara came back, landed his own nut shot, and then landed another nice side kick to the body. He had one in round one as well that knocked Armen off balance as he was trying to throw a kick. Really close round until under a minute left. Shara throws a spinning back fist that he kind of gets smothered being close up to Petrosian. And right after the initial spinning back fist stops, he throws it off the other side, lands the second spinning back fist, and knocks out Armen Petrosian. He goes down on all fours with his head down, doesn't try to move or defend or anything like that. Shara walks off, the ref calls it, and that's the win for Shara Magomedov. Definitely some better competition for him, a big test for him. His fourth win in a little over a year since he's been in the UFC, so really good activity out of him so far. Don't think we'll ever see him fight outside of the Middle East because I don't know that he's allowed anywhere else. A lot of these fighters are kind of like that, kind of like Hamza. Anyway, good win for him. It wasn't just a clear walkthrough for him. He had to work for this one. Armen definitely had the better of him in some moments, hurt him early, but he survived. Had his one fucked up eye got hurt early, and yeah, he persevered and ended up getting a really sick KO in the end with only 8 seconds left in the round of round two. So really good win for him. Big win. Hopefully we keep him active. Like I said, he's probably gonna have to be in the Middle East somewhere, but I'm sure he'll be going to Saudi Arabia or some other fucking place in a couple months. So great win for him. I wonder who they'll put him up against next. Maybe somebody in the lower part of the rankings. Not really sure, but middleweight's kind of deep right now, bro. Honestly, I guess we'll see. I don't know if he's ready for a ranked contender yet, but I'm sure they're gonna try to keep him undefeated as long as possible. So they might feed him another mid contender, kind of like Petrosian. Anyway, good fight. Moving up to the next fight on the main card, Dan Ige and Lerone Murphy. Another very good fight. Good start to the round for both. Ige had good pressure and closed the distance early. I think Murphy cut him with an elbow as he was coming in, kind of just sliced him across the front. 90 seconds in, Ige gets a takedown. Murphy got up about a minute later. They exchanged for a bit until Ige caught Murphy with a counter hook and dropped him bad early in the fight. Kind of like where he's turned his head back around and gets caught coming back around with a fist right in the mouth. Really nice shot from Ige. Dropped him bad in the first. Murphy recovered, got him against the cage, and got a takedown with about 10 seconds left. But first round had to be Ige. Round two, much better round from Murphy. Ige seemed a bit tired after that first round, but still landing pretty good. Murphy gets a takedown, lost it quick, got reversed, and not much happened. I think it was a pretty clear 1-1 going into the third at this point. Murphy was really doing a good job mixing it up. Round three, weird grappling exchanges early round three. Ige ended back up on top of Murphy. 90 seconds in, they rolled it around for a minute. Ige took Murphy's back as he tried to finally get up, and as he did it, Ige kept him held against the cage. Murphy reversed, took Ige down, so they were working around the ground. Murphy finally gets back up. They reverse against the cage, takes him back down. He was in Murphy was in north-south with Ige, trying to lock up some kind of choke, but he rolled away and shucked Murphy off his back. They get up with about 30 seconds left, and Murphy works Ige a bit against the cage. Definitely got the better of him in this last 30 seconds of the fight when it was kind of the main part of the round, man. There was a lot of grappling before that, and the main damage in the round came from that last 30 seconds. Murphy got the better of him in these final exchanges. It's hard to say who won the third, but I thought it was a clear 1-1 going into the third. I had Murphy winning round three, and that's what the judges had as well. Unanimous decision for Lerone Murphy. I imagine it's rounds 1 and 3. Very good fight though, very even fight. Dan Ige's been putting himself out there a lot. Um, yeah, definitely not afraid to take a fight anywhere. Kind of looked like he might have been injured or maybe he was just really tired after that first round, but he seemed a bit off. Was still very successful against Murphy. Murphy with a very fucking boring style, just trying to, point at range and then hold him against the cage and do damage that way. Not a great style. Still undefeated. I guess good for him, but not all that exciting to be totally honest. But let's move on to the feature fight of the main card: Magomed Ankalaev versus Alexander Rakic. This was kind of underwhelming, unfortunately. Yeah, Rakic just didn't do enough, man. Round one, close round, back and forth on the feet. Rakic had the advantage with the kicks and landed quite a few in the first. Ankalaev was getting really close to landing some big shots, just missing a lot, and no shots for takedowns on either side. So I think Rakic got the first round, but live odds coming out of the first round into the second were minus 450 for Ankalaev. So I guess they were just expecting the rig. I don't know. Round two, much better round from Ankalaev. Clear win for the round from him. Rakic didn't do shit, didn't mount any momentum in the round. Clear 1-1 going into the third for me. Rakic seemed much more gas than Ankalaev at this point, and Rakic corner, I think, told him that he was up 2-0, so they're fucking idiots. They should have literally told him the opposite of that, because if anything, he was down 2-0. No shot at this point. He was up 2-0 after that second round. Round 3, better start to the round for Rakic, but Ankalaev kept landing that straight left right down the fucking pipe. Hurt Rakic a bit. He shot in for a single leg and got reversed against the cage. Not much happened after, really. Boring ass round. The numbers favored Rakic every round for significant strikes, but watching it live, it felt like Ankalaev 3-0 to me, or 2-1. Judges had it unanimous for Ankalaev 29-28. Absolutely no shot he wasn't going to get that decision, and I still think Ferreira starches him, to be totally honest. Not an impressive performance for me. To me, I don't think he's going to do that well against Ferreira. I'd like to see the fight, but no shots here, which I guess he didn't need to, obviously, but Pereira's had decent takedown defense in 5 rounds. Magomedov may just decide to strike for 3 minutes and shoot for the last 2 or something like that, and that could be what it comes down to. But pretty boring fight, very underwhelming. Rakic looks like he's going down the fucking pit of despair, light heavyweight. That's 3 in a row now. Looks like he's just gonna keep going down and back it down the rankings. So not a good fight from him. Ankalaev didn't look that great. I think he's gonna get starched by Pereira, but whatever. At least it'd be another win for Alex. Anyway, moving up to the co-main event of the evening. Yeah, a little bit underwhelming as well. Robert Whittaker and Khamzat Chimaev. Whittaker hit Chimaev with 2 low kicks to start the fight right off the bat, and then Borges just shoots a fucking double leg, mauls him for, 3 minutes, and ends up dislocating Whittaker's jaw and getting one of the quickest taps I've ever seen. After working on his back, Chimaev landed obviously 25 strikes. It was all on the ground, just kind of working in between positions. Whittaker tried to get up, get around. Chimaev just wouldn't get. He's just glue in the first round, really. Still bigger than Whittaker. I don't know how the fuck he ever made welterweight, but yeah, I mean he would have easily won the welterweight championship if he could have just fucking stayed healthy and made weight. I mean he's massive and obviously has a skill. Yeah, I thought it'd be a pretty easy win for him as well. Whittaker was obviously his hardest competition by far so far in his career, so not a good look, man. Whittaker looked really bad. Not a good look for the remainder of his career at this point after that kind of performance. So I guess we'll see what happens for him coming up. Maybe some other contender, maybe some other legacy name at middleweight. I don't know. Not a good look for him though. Feel bad kind of because it was a real bitch ass looking tap, man. Because it wasn't even under the neck, and I get the dislocating the jaw probably feels way worse than getting choked out, but it just didn't look good. The tap was so quick, and Chimaev didn't even get touched really. I mean, he got kicked with 2 leg kicks, so hopefully we see him back soon. But again, he's probably only going to be able to fight in the Middle East, so who knows when that's going to be. Good fight though. Quick. Didn't need 5 rounds. Obviously, didn't think we would, but Khamzat Chimaev gets the submission win in the first round. And now, last but definitely not least, the main event of the evening, and what a fucking main event it was. Ilia Topuria and Max Holloway throwing down for the featherweight championship of the world. Let's get started right away with round 1. Ilia points and stands in the center right away, just like he said he was, and Max does the little matador thing to the side and doesn't engage with him. So they get going after that. So lots of kicks early from Max, staying careful, staying at range. Ilia already early, landing some decent shots, closing the distance well early round 1, shoots a takedown 90 seconds in, and dunks Max down against the cage. A really nice power takedown. They separated, and Ilia lands a nice low kick and a good counter right on Max. He's clearly getting the better to this point in the boxing with a lot of solid low kicks as well. They went back and forth on the feet for the rest of the round. About 15 seconds left. Max got dropped off balance. Seemed like Ilia's round towards the end there. I would give it to Ilia 1-0 just because of the power and the takedowns. Max did cut Ilia slightly on the side of the eye with an elbow, but I'm going to say Ilia 1-0 coming out of round 1. Really close round, both having success in different areas. Round 2, Max landed some solid shots to start the round. Ilia at this point in round 2 was having a hard time closing the distance at the start of the round, and Max was or Ilia was just barely missing at the very beginning, throwing those power shots just like we know for as long as it takes. Ilia stayed on the low kicks, and 2 minutes in, landed a solid left hook, and it looked like he stung Max a bit there. So this was the first time it looked like he cracked the armor a little bit. Started gaining momentum from here, started to put the pressure on, landed some good shots to the head. Max landed a nice right hand, and Ilia answered with one of his own right back. Even second round, I think Ilia took round 2. It's hard to say with Ilya showed more visible damage on his face, but definitely landed the more powerful shots. Could be 1-1 or 2-0 at this point. I would say probably 2-0, maybe 1-1. I'm not really sure. But it didn't matter because come round 3, very close start, back and forth until 90 seconds in. Ilya catches Max bad with a right hand, keeps the pressure on, and puts him out. TKO. Wow, dude. So the first time Holloway's ever dropped is also the same day as the first time he's KO'd. The granite chin gets cracked, and he goes down to Ilia Topuria towards the middle end of round 3, and it kind of seemed like an inevitability. Got to give Max a lot of props, man. He landed a lot of good shots of his own that might have crumbled other lesser featherweights. But, man, Topuria not only has the power, he's got the chin to back it up. He was so good with the striking defense as well, constantly moving his head, slipping quite a bit of shots. As you can see, Max was putting the pressure on, man. 235 strikes, not even 3 rounds in. Missing quite a bit of them, though, whereas Ilya's landing almost half of his shots and just not throwing as much. A lot more power on the shots. And every single one of his total strikes was a significant strike, Max a few less. But regardless of that, Ilya was landing strong, powerful shots that, again, would have dropped a lesser featherweight way earlier in that fight. But Max, with the chin that he has and the perseverance, stayed on it. But it seemed like the damage was just going to mount and be too much. And eventually it was towards the end of that 3rd round. It was just too much for him. Yeah, it's tough. Tough for Max, man. He really did look good those first couple of rounds. But it seems like anybody that Ilya fights, man, he just has that finishing ability over them. Has the ground game to go with it. Kind of looks unbeatable, man. I don't know who's going to beat him. They throw Volk in the cage after the fight. Like, oh, bro. Why are they trying to kill this man, bro? Leave him alone. Leave him alone, bro. Give him some fucking bum of a thing, man. Leave Volk alone. I don't need to see that again, man. I don't need to see it again. He's going to get starched if he fights Volk, okay? Volk is going to get fucking starched again. Other matchups potential, Evloev or Diego Lopez. They both probably get starched too. Diego Lopez at least has a bit of finishing potential. Evloev only has potential to fucking nut hug, so he's not really. That would be such a boring matchup, honestly. Maybe if they just had to fill a pay-per-view and got to get him a quick win to move on, kind of like Pereira and Roundtree, even though it didn't end up being a quick win, but kind of like that, where maybe somebody doesn't deserve it as much, but they're up in the rankings and you could justify it. Maybe just to get him another fight. But I'm not excited about an Evloev matchup at all. He's going to just dismantle him, I'm sure. Diego Lopez, dude, I don't even think that he has a chance, bro. Honestly, after that fight by Topuria, we just saw him beat back-to-back the two of the 3 goats of the featherweight division, the other one being Aldo, but we just saw him start fucking both of them. And honestly, I don't think, in hindsight now, after seeing him just put out Max that bad, I don't know that it would have made a difference if Volk took any more time off after that Islam KO. I think it would have been the same fate regardless. I don't know whether that's their cope now and they're going to say, oh, he's got plenty of time off to recover, and now he'll be able to give Ilya a good matchup. Maybe for a round, bro. Maybe 2 at the absolute most. But Ilya's fucking putting him out one way or the other. Amazing performance. Really looking forward to him fighting every time now, man. Really exciting to see him fight. 15-0. Got the knockouts. His 2 championship fights now were both knockouts over fucking legends, man. So, wow. What a card. Really good card all the way through. Let's go. Let's do a quick recap. 3 kind of slow decisions to start. We had the Rinat absolute fucking robbery. Naurdiev just beat the shit out of Silva. Silva needs to retire. He's fucking washed. Farid, Basharat, and Victor Hugo kind of went back and forth, but Victor Hugo just didn't look great. Neither of them looked that great, to be totally honest. Chris Barnett's fat as fuck and lost via Sugarfoot. Abbas Magomedov, really good fight, actually. Way better performance for him. Going 3 rounds, getting the sub late in the 3rd round. Great look for him over Bruno Ferreira, who's had really good finishing recently. And he has like 5 finishes in a row? Not in a row, but yeah, lots of finishes for him. He's done really well, so good win for Abbas Magomedov. Mateusz, Rebecki, and Myktybek Orolbai, maybe the fight of the year, at least the 3rd round of the year for sure. Rebecki comes in as the 2-1 underdog, gets the win. Really good performance from him, coming back off his first loss in a while, first loss in the UFC. Geoff Neal and Rafael dos Anjos, absolute wash of a fight. Dos Anjos got knocked down right away, and then on the second knockdown, held at his knee. And that was that. He got hurt. He needs to retire as well. He's fucking washed and a bum old man. Ivo Aslan and Rafael Cerqueira to end off the prelims. Rafael Cerqueira landed 1 low kick and then got absolutely mauled by Aslan. He threw the low kick, and as he did that, got caught with a massive left hook over the top. Aslan stayed on him, landed another 28 shots, 27 shots, whatever, against the cage. Just kind of volume TKO'd him. I mean, he was catching him, but it was more of like, this guy's not even fighting back at this point, so he kind of just turned into a fucking heavy bag and got his first loss. Ibo Aslan, though, great performance. Didn't really get to see much of him because the guy kind of did just show up against the cage, but great performance, good win. Thank God it's a finish. Don't need more fucking decisions. Shara Magomedov, one of the knockouts of the year, if not the knockout of the year, by spinning back fist in the second round. Not only spinning back fist, but a double spinning back fist. Comes in for the first one, is too close, kind of gets smothered, and as that first one ends, comes right around the counter, lands the second spinning back fist. Sick knockout of Arm Petrosian. Great way to start off the main card. Second fight on the main card, Lerone Murphy and Dan Ige. Much slower here. Man, Ige left it all out there. It was a very close fight. It really could go either way. I thought Lerone Murphy did have the edge, and I think that they were going to give him that either way. But pretty good fight, kind of boring. Murphy does have a bit of a boring style if he's not just getting his way, so not great. Next fight, Magomedov, Alexander Rakic, also not great. Very underwhelming for what I was expecting, but they both didn't want to lose, obviously. Rakic's corner, I feel like it's not the first time this happened, but they were telling him he was winning the whole time when he clearly wasn't, and then he ends up losing 2-1. I thought he was down 2-0 going into the third. I guess they were right. He won one of those rounds, or maybe he won the third, but not a good look from him, man. He needs to just come out and sell out against a guy like Ankalaev, and he just couldn't let go, and didn't even have to worry about takedowns or anything. He was the only one that shot a takedown the whole fight, so not really an excuse for him. Bad look for Rakic. He's going to keep falling down the ranks. Maybe Rakic versus Roundtree. That'd be fucking sick. I'd be happy to see that. Anyway, co-main event, Whittaker and Chimaev. Not a lot to talk about again here, man. R.I.P. Whittaker. Chimaev gets him down, mauls him within the first couple of seconds after Whittaker throws 2 strikes, 2 low kicks. Mauls him, ragdolls him on the ground, throws a couple of strikes, moves around on the ground, moves, finally works towards the back. Doesn't even get a rear naked choke, just fucking crushes Whittaker's chin, dislocates his jaw, and that's that. First round sub for Chimaev. Really good comeback fight for him, dude. Couldn't do shit against Usman. I guess Usman's better than Whittaker, maybe. On short notice too. I don't fucking know, man. But bad look from Whittaker. Don't blame him for tapping that early to that sub either. That definitely hurts like a motherfucker if you get your jaw fucking broken with a choke and he's still on it. I don't blame him for that, but not a good look. Great win for Chimaev. I'm sure they'll give him a title shot next. Probably after Strickland, though, to be honest. I think they're still going to do DDP and Strickland. It depends on the timing, though, because obviously Chimaev's only going to fight in the Middle East somewhere, which that's really fair. His first title fight, he gets to be at home. That's always really fun for that region of the world to always get, home field advantage whenever they want. But anyway, yeah, good win for Chimaev. Finally, the main event again. What a fucking fight, man. What a fight to finish off a really good card. There were some boring decisions, but overall, pretty good fights. Very close fights for the most part. And Topuria seals it with the first knockout of Max Holloway. So let me know what you guys think. I'm going to give that like a 7.5 out of 10. We're going to go 7.5. Pretty good fucking card. Great finish. I would say great co-main event, but it was kind of anticlimactic. You know what I mean? They kind of just got going. You knew Chimaev was going to ragdoll him. Kind of hope Whittaker could get through that, but he didn't. Yeah, good finishes. Good for Ilia Topuria. I don't see anybody's going to beat him anytime soon, so I guess we'll see. I guess that's why they want to put Volk back in there, because there's nobody else that really has a chance, I feel like. And maybe Volk on a good amount of rest might have a better chance, but I think he still gets starched either way. So I'll be back next week. I think there's a fight night card next weekend, I'm pretty sure, so we'll be previewing that, making some picks for that. I'll see you guys soon. Peace.